because I know without you being a success, the church on a whole suffers. Now, I can't say this enough, and I can't drive this into your minds, into your heart enough. Everything about your life needs to glorify God. Amen. Now, when we say that, we're not just talking from a perspective of you just not committing a short list of sins. But I'm talking about everything in your life that doesn't represent God, as far as for the world to see. Your health, how you live financially, all these things glorify God. Your job is to make sure what I desire is I don't benefit more than God's glory. Amen. Y'all understand what I'm saying? Yeah. I got to be hungry for the glory of God to be in my life. Hungry for the glory of God will never change me based off what I have. Come on now. Do you hear me? So what I have does not determine how I'm going to treat other people. Because sometimes people get a little bit more, and then they start to treat people that they believe have a little bit less. And let me tell you something. Everything that's on the surface ain't what it is. That's true. Are y'all listening to me? Amen. We were in the company of someone, and you know, we were going out for breakfast and just buying and doing whatever they needed, or whether it was sandwiches or whatever. Like, you know, every morning we would get on the truck, we would go buy some stuff, and they would spend money. Like, I mean, maybe not a lot, maybe $10, $15, you know, for their day. You know, lunch, breakfast, lunch, whatever, stuff to drink, and all monsters, whatever they was getting. And the other guy, which is me, always brought his stuff. Now, the difference is, I own the company. He's just a worker. Now, why is that significant? Because you out here trying to act like, you know, you don't need to save. But you need to learn how to watch somebody that got more than you and learn. Amen. Amen. No, I mean, like some people will stay poor just because they're lazy. True. Some people will, my wife and I was talking, and you know, some people, they just deserve to be poor. They just do. Because they refuse to do simple things that help propel them to another level financially. Like, you know, why are you eating out every day and you ain't got a dime saved? Right. I mean, really, like, what's wrong with you? I'm always eating, you know, they always said a penny saved, a penny earned. No, you got to get to the place that I'm willing to start loving the glory of God, that I'm not trying to be something I'm not. Right. I remember as a kid, I used to go on school trips, and every once in a while we would go on school trips, and they would say, you have to bring money, because we would stop. We used to go to Prospect Park, and Prospect Park had this Wendy's there, and I remember going to Prospect Park, and the teacher, they said, no, don't bring no lunch. We're going into Wendy's. Tell your parents you need lunch money. Well, I ain't had no lunch money. I'm just glad to have lunch. You talking about lunch money? And you know, I had what all other rich kids had: peanut butter and jelly, and you know, nothing to drink, none of that stuff, just regular peanut butter and jelly. And I'll never forget, I was in the restaurant eating my peanut butter and jelly, and everybody else was eating Wendy's. Of course, you feel like, you know, man, everybody know my mama ain't got lunch money. But do you know that time and that season taught me how not to care about what people think about me. Amen. Amen. No, listen to me. You got to understand that if you're going to grow in God, I got to be open to learn that His glory means more than my image. Amen. You cannot want something just because it makes you look good. Right? We were just, oh man, you know, I don't want to say the wrong thing because, you know, some of y'all investigators, but we was talking, and the man is working hard. He's working hard, and he's connected. You know, I shouldn't even say, man, I should just be as vague as possible. One spouse is telling the other spouse, spend money, spend money, spend money. And the other spouse is saying, we can't spend money. We can't keep spending money. Can't keep spending money. And, you know, and they going at it because she's just pushing, spend. And he's saying, no. And the problem is that even though we can afford it, is what he's saying, even though we can afford it, we ain't got nothing saved. So if we gonna go out here and get this, and we don't have this, we need to reevaluate things. Can I just say this to you? There are some cars you ought not own until you own your home. You don't need no Range Rover paying somebody's rent. Are you dumb? I'm believing God for this year. Navigate. You need to believe God for some sense. Some things you don't need until you at least have your own driveway to pull it in. We'll get to a garage up the road, but at least have your own front door to park it in. There are people that believe they're after God's glory, but they do dumb things to benefit themselves. Right? You don't have to wear clothes because that's the style. Wear what you like. Be free. Let me get to this. Let me get to this. All right? Go to James 4:7. I need you to be a success. Because the kingdom of God is suffering. Now, you know, faith-based churches don't want to hear this because they say, you know, you got to talk positive. We got to speak, you know, faith over stuff. But we got to be real. The church is losing all that it ever had in the earth. We're losing it at a rapid pace. Nobody consults the church on what we want, what we should do, the moves we should make. Nobody, you know, I said this before I listened to the tape and I messed it up a little bit, but I'm going to get it right today. Right now, you have what they call the evangelicals, which is simply, in a lot of cases, white Christians that hate black folk. No, I mean, it is what it is. If you follow the majority of these evangelicals, you get the ones that if you follow them long enough and hear what they're saying and what they're doing, you'll be like, wow, you really support that? Right. But it's going to hurt that community. They say, well, it's too bad. Right. Too bad. Right. You'll get evangelicals that will say, send your money in that we may preach the gospel. Now, you know, it is what it is. We got preachers on TV that tell people, send your money so we can preach the gospel, win souls, build people up that they can grow in God. Yet, they take that same money and use by TV time to promote a specific politician. Right. Well, is it to win souls or for you to push your political agenda? Right. So, you know, I heard me say this before. We had one preacher, he said that, you know, his church suffered out in California, because, you know, some of y'all get a little nosy, started this way out in California, so y'all don't know about it. He out in California, and they said, you know, his church went from 3,000 members to under 1,000 because he is a black preacher. He started promoting Trump and pushing Trump. So the people left. So I said to the person, good, they should have left. Now, the first thing he said was, well, you saying that because you an Obama fan. I said, no, I'm saying that because the house of God is not a place for you to push your political agenda. That's right. Amen. Whether you for Obama, whether you for Trump, it don't matter who you for. You don't use God's house. These are the people Jesus threw out. You don't come to my house to push your personal agenda. Amen. Everybody, the dog need to run away. Amen. Come on. So God's house has become a place of a hangout, a place of political influence, a place of give me what I can get. You know, I never forget, I was in prayer, and I was, you know, just talking to God, and God said something. There was a preacher, and I ain't talking about no specific preacher, you don't know what I'm talking about, so mind your business, all right? There was a preacher telling people God told him to get a new jet. He needed $65 million for the jet. And God said to me, do you think I would rather him, because he would go to one place to the next, he wanted to do it so he wouldn't have to stop to refill. He wanted to just go from point A to point B. The jet he had to go to point A, stop, refill, then go on to B. God said to me, do you think it's more important to me that he has to stop for gas than it is for a fraction of that can be used that a whole community can have clean drinking water? What do you think I want? One person don't want to stop to get fuel for the jet, so they want $65 million. When you can take $10 to $20 million and fix a water, what I would call a poisoning that have taken place to a community, you can fix this. But you say, no, God said he wants $65 million. God said the church has become perverted with stuff. Preachers in competition with who got the biggest jet. So the church is losing its power. And I can identify when people don't respect church. Right. If I didn't know God in a relationship, I would not be a Christian. Come on. see God manifest in the earth. Right. You here because you love God. You got a personal relationship with God. Right. If God never showed up again in your life, you still gonna love Him. Right. You already hooked. Right. But at the same time, if we are going to be hungry for the glory of God, then we got to get to a place that we are not about ourselves, but about God's business. Amen. Not about me, but about God's business. We got to be hungry for manifestation. Without it, the world is going to make us a mockery. So when I hear people say, that's a white man's religion. When I hear people say, you know, my grandmother gave her whole life to the church, and all her money, and all this other stuff, and she still died, you know, of cancer, and all this other stuff, I can identify, because that shouldn't be happening. And we can't keep curtailing this like it's all right. It's not all right for the children of God to be sick. Amen. Come on, you're going to talk back to me. Oh, we're going to have one of the strong deacons to throw you up out of here. Amen. Listen to me. We need the glory of God in your life. Amen. We need you winning. Yes. You can't be sick. Amen. You can't be dying young. Come on, man. That's right. Come on. Now let's get to some stuff here. I want to show you something. Your power in God is measured based off your submission in God. Yes. It's not measured based off your stuff. Yes. And people been chasing stuff and not God. Amen. Come on, people want a jet, but you ain't raised nobody from the dead. I mean, come on now. If we really going to talk about the God of the Bible, now you have to understand, if God is God, and He never changed, He's the same yesterday, today, and forevermore, then why do we have people that love God and die of sicknesses? Come on. Love God and broke. Yes. Come on. So you got to get to the place that we're not trying to get stuff. We're after the submission of God. God will order my steps and I'm going to obey Him. All right? Submit yourself. Now this is the part most people leave out when they are quoting this passage. Submit yourselves then to God. What translation is this? Let's get rid of that one. Give me a King James Version, if you will. Submit yourselves, come on. Submit yourselves, therefore, to God. Resist the devil, and he will flee from you. There was one translation I read. It said, do what God tell you to do, and then you can whoop the devil. Come on. Come on. Come on. Are you listening? Come on. You're not going to tell me, now I'm talking about me now. I'm talking about me now. You're not going to tell me God is telling me to buy a Phantom and my sister is now about to be homeless. Right, that's right. You know what a Phantom costs? That thing about $350. So I go buy a Phantom and my sister is about to be homeless. Something wrong with that. Right, yes, amen. Now listen to me. Helping your family, helping your sister, your brother, your cousin, your auntie may not be in money. Right. Maybe you need to educate. Right. Yes. Amen. Amen. Maybe you need to have more influence in their decision making. Amen. Which means you ain't gonna do that by beating them in the head. I need wisdom. Right. If you're gonna grow in God and produce the glory of God, I'm open and exposed to the wisdom of God for the benefit of others. Amen. Come on, you're gonna talk back to me now. Yeah. You hungry for the wisdom of God, yes, that somebody else's life can be made better. Yes. And I don't need nobody to call my name to say, if it wasn't for the Lord. Right. You listening? I don't need my kids to walk around with the bumper sticker if it wasn't for my dad. Right. That's right. Come on now, you understand that? All right? They know, and they know they have an obligation to help somebody else. Amen. That's right. That's so submit yourselves, therefore, to God. All right? Resist the devil, and that devil gonna get up off you. Yes, God gonna tell you what to do, yes, for you to win. Yes. If you do it, yes, you can whoop the devil. That's right. Yes. You will not whoop the devil doing what you want to do. That's right. Come on. Can I tell you something that's gonna hurt your feelings? Don't ask me to pray for no sickness, and you ain't willing to do what God told you to do. Yes. God give you information. My people are destroyed because of lack of knowledge. Yes. When you get knowledge, you're to implement it in your life. Yes. If you're not willing to implement it, then just die. Yes. Amen. Listen to something, you know, this has been a weakness. Well, then you better make it a strength. Right. There is no excuse to disobey God. There's no justifiable reason for you to be defeated. There's no justifiable reason for you to live beneath your means. The devil is a lie. When for you.
Yeah.
So people are accepting a lifestyle that's God never intended. What God tell you, I need to do. When I do that, I can whoop the devil.
Amen.
I don't need to connect the dots.
That's right.
I don't need to connect the dots. If God tell me to comb my hair to the left, every little strand I got going to the left. Now you may say it don't make no difference. Obedience make the difference.
Yes.
Are you listening?
Yeah.
Obedience makes the difference.
Yeah.
If he tell me to do something, I'm going to do it.
Amen.
No parent like to be ignored by their child.
Amen.
Young people, if you want to really see your parent at their worst, just ignore them. You better not look at them.
Right.
And they, oh Lord, you might as well cuss me clean out. No, y'all come in here, praise God, call yourself worshiping God, but then you ignore what he tells you. Oh my Lord. Try it. You know, every once in a while, you know, they got little pranks. Y'all need to record your parents. When they tell you to do something, just record them and just look at them. Come here, girl. What is wrong with you? and then when they tell you to do something, just say, you're the best mommy in the world. There's no other mommy like you. Guess what? They ain't gonna hear that. They ain't gonna hear none of your praise, none of your uplifting words. They want to choke you. You hear me? But then the mama come to church.
Right, come on.
Fall out.
Yes.
I'm in the spirit. Don't nobody touch me. I'm in the spirit. And God tell them, and they get up, God tell them to do something, they do the same. No, see, here's the thing. God's not real to you. That's why you can do whatever you want to do. He's not really your father.
That's true.
That's why you can say and do what you want.
That's true.
If you really believe God was walking next to you, you wouldn't do some of the things you do.
Yes. Amen. Yes.
So I got to start listening to God. Say that. I need to listen to God. Not just to hear him, but you got to hear and obey. Hear and obey. Hear and obey. Hear and obey. The more you hear, the more you obey, the more you're going to win. When I see you losing, you can't lose and have a relationship with God.
Amen. Amen.
Now, everybody take every scripture to mean money. You know, no matter what God say about submission, you're going to win. They say, oh, yeah, I got to submit to God. I probably got to pay my tithes. No, everything he tell you to do. Listen, when God speaks to you, that become a commandment in your life.
Yes.
Come on, some 10 commandments. Well, it ain't really 10. It's more than, no, it can be a million commandments. Every time God opens his mouth and tell you what he wants from you, that become a lifelong principle that I need to live by until I die.
Amen. Amen.
So I got to resist. I got to resist that devil. I got to resist that devil. I don't have the power to resist unless I've obeyed God. You got to link how blessed you are to how valuable you are to the kingdom. Don't tell me about your materialism, but you're not valuable to the kingdom. Now, I'm not saying preachers shouldn't have a jet, but I think there's some things we need to use common sense about. Why do you need a jet so you don't have to stop when you want to go somewhere? And then we got people starving. Now, listen to me. I'm not saying go take that money and buy food because they're going to be hungry again tomorrow. Do you understand? But if you got $65 million for a jet, you got $65 million to put together some type of agriculture thing going on somewhere that they can get food. You don't just see your phone just throw it out and nothing coming back. If I got $65 million, I can put something together. I can start a cow farm, hog farm, chicken farm. Now I'm going to give you jobs and I'm going to give you food. It will never run out. Just don't kill the rooster. Don't kill the rooster. But everybody going to have chicken. And trust me, if that rooster, you get the right rooster, that rooster say, listen here, I can handle it. Ain't never too many chickens. Ain't never too many chickens. I said, yeah, that rooster crowing all right. You know why? It's time! Now what he saying? Yeah, I'm telling you. So, see, the thing is, people want what they want, but they don't have no wisdom for nobody else.
That's true. That's true.
Hear what God is telling you.
Right.
You can get enough money for you to live good. After you do what God tell you to do, it'll never dry up.
Never. That's right.
It'll never dry up. No. You can't talk about God based off your experience.
That's right.
You can't talk about, if we don't start talking about God like He's real, like the Bible says, we will expect Him based off other people's experience instead of what the Word of God is saying.
Amen. That's right.
You cannot obey God and lose.
That's right. Amen.
And the more you grow in God, the more God's going to expect from you.
Amen.
He only gave that man one talent because that's all he can handle. But graduation is coming your way.
Amen.
He gave another one 2 and another one 5 based off what they can handle.
Amen.
Your income now is based off what you can handle.
Right.
And if you're not wise with what you got, you can't go to another level.
Amen.
Oh my God.
That's true.
Go with me, Mark 8:36. Stuff got to become irrelevant in the church.
Amen.
You know, I remember when Dr. Price was preaching out a lot, and his church got him a jet. And but for a long time, he just rode first class. And he said the reason that he got a jet was because of time and getting back home and different things like that. He said it's a tool, it's a ministry tool. And this was mind-blowing. Now, everybody do what they got to do. When he would go on vacation, he never used the church jet. Because the church jet was a ministry tool, not a personal luxury.
Right.
Now, see, so I'm not saying no preacher should have a jet. That's not what I'm saying. I'm not saying no preacher. You know, Dr. Hillard, he got helicopters because he had multiple locations. He was doing all the preaching, and it was more convenient for him to airlift up and down into his location so that he can get around better instead of trying to fly through town. No, listen to me. Listen to me. When it comes to stuff, I can't let stuff rule my life.
Amen. Amen.
Y'all got me?
Amen.
I can't let stuff rule my life. Stuff come and whatever God won't do with it is fine with me.
Amen.
Fine with me. You can't get stuff and then think somebody ought to give you some type of recognition.
That's true.
Pull your chest out.
Amen.
You can't get a card and then start acting funny.
Amen.
Some of y'all get wax on your car, you just go crazy.
Yes.
Just a little wax, and you think you done arrived. So I can't let stuff rule me. For what shall it profit a man if he shall gain the whole world and all the luxuries of the world and all the lustful possessions of the world? If he can get all the women he wants, if she can get all the men she wants, why does it profit him if you don't have a relationship with God?
Right.
The relationship with God got to mean more than what I can inquire while I'm on earth.
That's true. Amen.
If I don't pay attention to what the devil is doing, trying to trick me. Now listen to me, young people. I need you to get this. You know, we're supposed to be talking specifically to young people, but everybody needs this. You can't allow the devil to trick you with money. Most children don't come from a home that they will not work on a Sunday because of their relationship with God.
Right.
That's just a fact.
Right.
Because they don't see the manifestation of God.
Amen.
If we saw God in our homes, we can now bring about a different allegiance to God with our children.
That's true. Amen.
How you going to tell your child this is what you should do, and they looking at you just as broke, busted, and disgusted? Your life don't resemble nothing about the hand of God, the blessings of God, the uplifting of God. You about to die of something. All this. They look at church as if I get time, I ain't got nothing else better to do, I'll stop by.
Yes, that's true.
But if I want to take a little nap, you won't see me. God is not important in our life. You have been defeated to the point that the people you are steward over, your children, will not follow in your footsteps if given an opportunity.
True. So true.
And we cool with it. But the glory of God suffers.
Yes.
The glory of God suffers when we don't see the manifestation of God in our homes.
Amen.
You can never chase money.
That's right.
You can never chase money.
Yeah.
You can never chase money. Listen to me. Until you get in your heart, I'd rather be homeless than to turn my back on what I believe, what I've said I'll do for God.
Amen.
Sunday is my day of worship, not my day to make money. That's until I die.
Amen. Yes. Amen.
If you can't have a relationship with God to the point that you can make up your mind, it don't matter how much money you offer me. I can't do it.
Yes.
Can't do it. Now you ain't there in your faith. Don't try to get there today.
Amen.
But you need to know where you need to go.
Amen.
Are you listening to me?
Amen.
Some of y'all right now, if your job call, you can't come here. You just stop lying. You ain't coming. You ain't coming. Your job, go in tomorrow. They say going forward, you're going to be here every Sunday for the next 3 years from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. See, yes. I'll be here. I don't know what I'm going to do. You need to already know. I tell y'all, listen, you don't go fill out a gun permit after they kicked in your door.
Right.
Somebody kicking in your door on their way upstairs. He's like, go online and apply for a gun permit. Too late now. You need to already know where you stand with God.
Yes.
And let me tell you something, you're going to be tested.
Amen.
You're going to be tested. I'm telling you, you're going to be tested. If you can't stand to lose money to keep your word with God, don't expect God to give you the money you need when you call it.
That's true. So true.
The love of money manifests more than just you willing to sleep with people to get it.
Amen.
The love of money manifests in multiple ways. The love of money make you miss too many games. People will look at where I'm at. They have no idea the road I traveled to get here. So you got to get to the place. I'm not going to allow stuff. What does it profit you? Meaning you can have all the silver and gold you want, but if you don't have a relationship with God, you need to know you're going to be in trouble. Now, why? Now, you want to know why that don't have power? Because we ain't seen God anyway. I was poor, I didn't see him. I got a couple of dollars, I ain't seen him. I see people over there, they look like they're living a better life and they ain't got nothing to do with God. But see, let me tell you this. Let me tell you this. There is a war going on. And the devil is using his tools, and God needs someone to use his.
Amen.
It glorifies God when you make a commitment that I'm going to love you more than what they're offering me.
Amen.
I'm going to keep my word with you. It glorifies.
Yes, it
But
does.
you won't stay there.
Yes.
Now I know some of y'all, I don't know, not here, but in the other church, Mount Zion Watermelon Baptist Church, right down the street, making right on South Columbia's Boulevard or something. And some people come back with some cocking story like, yeah, they wanted me to work on Sunday, I quit. No, you know you got fired. You know you got fired. They didn't want me playing my gospel music, and I just, no. They fired you. Now you come in here trying to act like God done. Like you don't know everything.
Right.
You cannot make a commitment to God that I would never allow money to separate my allegiance to my Sunday morning worship. You can't make that kind of commitment and God not take care of you.
That's right. Amen.
Now I'm not going to stoop to your level of experience to downgrade who God is.
Right.
Just because you don't believe that.
Right. Amen.
You can't trust God with your tithe and he not take care of you.
Amen. That's right.
I've already walked the tithe road. I walked the road on some Sundays. I had no faith to pay you, God. I'm telling you that right now. I'm trying to catch up. I never did. Never catch up. That's why now I make a commitment to God. This is what I'm going to give you every week. Now, it don't matter I ain't giving what you giving. You may have more money than me. But that's fine. My commitment is between me and God.
Yes.
God, this $25 I'm going to give every week, come hell or high water.
Yes. Amen.
Now, that $25 is not a payment on my tithes. Now, of course, I could, now you do what you got to do. I could make my tithes a whole lot less if I start working the calculator. But I can't trust that calculator.
That's it. That's it. Amen.
I can't trust that calculator.
Yeah.
That's true.
You be sitting there many times, you say, well, I'm broke. I just put this money. You get them alerts? So once I got to count, when they go below $1,500, they say, below. You say, who that? Because that ain't a regular boom boom, you know what I'm saying? There's the bank say, yeah, you on your way down, so you got to get some more money in here. Listen to me. Listen to me. You can't trust God and He not elevate you.
Amen.
Right.
Your life ain't never going to get cut off trusting God. The devil is a liar.
Amen. Yes, he is a liar.
Listen to me. I know what I'm talking about. That car will run until you got money to get it fixed.
Amen.
Now I'm telling you, I know what I know.
Right.
I pulled my trucks up into the shop, and the guy said, "You didn't drive this here." He said, "You couldn't have drove it here." He said, "I can kick that thing, and it's gonna fall out." You don't care what you do now, it's here. He's showing me, he said, "Look, the bolt is out of this thing." You know, in the box trucks, they have this thing that spins. I don't know what it's called, but it spins, and it's a gear shaft type thing, and it spins the rear tires to move. Well, that thing, you know, the whole bolt thing to hold it together, gone. Who told you? I drove my truck around one time, took it up to Lakewood, and the guy said, he said, "You didn't drive this truck here." I said, "Yeah, I just pulled it in." He said, "Oh, you got 2 belts missing off this thing." No, see, I don't care whether you believe it or not, that's irrelevant.
Yeah, that's right.
I know if you trust God, He's going to take care of you.
That's right. Do that. Yes.
He's always blessing me. Now, y'all need to hear me on this, because some of y'all got subject to retail. I don't pay retail on stuff, because God's hand is always in something with me. You cannot trust God with your money and He not take care of you.
Right.
But you're going to be tested.
That's
Don't think you're going to pay your tithes today and it's going to be doo-dah all the rest of the year.
Right. Right.
You pay your tithes today, you'll cost something not to start when you get outside. The test is you ain't coming back. Says, "Excuse me, Ella Walton, you're the president of the trustee board, ain't you? I need to holler at you for a minute." You see, what happened was I gave you $20, and then I came out here in my car. Well, I'm gonna need that 20 back. See, come on, I'm telling you, the devil gonna do something that you're gonna have to prove you trust God. You don't trust God out of word of mouth. You trust God when you have opposition and you make the claim in your actions, "I believe God." You don't believe God just because you know His Bible. You believe God when you can walk in what He's telling you to do. God help me, Jesus. So I'm not going to try to chase stuff. Stuff gonna chase me. Do you hear me? God will do some things that will blow your mind.
Amen.
I'm telling you, He will blow your mind.
Yes, He will.
Y'all be sitting around here like God's gonna be like your parent. No, you going to another level than your parent. My kids better not be trying to do what I'm doing. You need to go to another level.
Amen.
Right.
Amen.
Let my grandkids call me talking about something. Yeah, mom said we don't get no allowance. They said what? No, yes you do. Yes you is.
Yes.
Yes you is. Not only are they giving you allowance, they're gonna put money in your IRA. They're gonna put money in your stocks and bonds because they're going higher.
Yes.
How do you don't maintain?
That's right.
If we get the glory of God, you ain't gotta worry about what your kids will do.
That's right. That's right. Amen.
So you get people that say, "I ain't going to no church," because you know that's something the slave did for the master, the slave master put on the slaves. Let me tell you something. See, and I tell you the same thing. If I looked at the church today, there's a very strong possibility I would not be a Christian. I'd do something else with my time, with my money, everything else, because I don't see God like the Bible says in churches.
Right. Right.
Oh, we see a lot of traditionalized things done. Right. We see a lot of good posturing. We see a lot of protocol, but we don't see God.
That's right.
So people say that's something the slave master brought in. Why do you think they brought the Bible here? They didn't bring the Bible here because they love God. Are you listening to me? I'm gonna give you a little piece of black history so you can know something. They didn't bring the Bible here because they was Christians. If there was Christians that loved God, they could not do the things they did. Amen. Do you understand that? Amen. So that tells you no slave master brought the Bible here because they loved God and was trying to think. They saw the culture of the African. And listen, and you have to listen, you're gonna hear me today. They looked at the culture of the African people and they connected their culture to a book that was written by King James. That book was called the Bible. That Bible had scriptures in it that they wanted to use to make these people think God is against you now and we now your master because you did something wrong. The Bible didn't come because Christians came. The Bible came because they Come on, God dog, you got to
Come on now.
The Bible was brought to America to control slaves. Because you believe the Bible. You live by the Bible. Your culture said Jesus is Lord. When they looked at your culture, they brought the Bible in to say, look, this is what it says. You got to submit to what the Bible says. They ain't bring that book over here because they love Jesus. If you love Jesus, you ain't going to take no man's wife.
That's right.
Make him sit outside out the door while you have sex with his wife to break him. You won't do that.
Yes. Amen.
Let me tell you something. Now, this ain't racist. This is just spiritual fact. You got to have a special kind of devil in you to deal with slave masters did to their slaves. That's just not ownership.
Yes.
That wasn't just a right to run my car into a tree. That was demonic things taking place. To control the mindset of the people. They knew it was far greater than what the position they had. So when you hear people talking about it's a white man religion, you say if it was their religion, they would never do the things they did when they had my forefathers over here.
That's right. Come on. That's right.
The biggest problem with Trump implementing the separation of children and their parents, because that came with a certain mindset.
Yes.
No real mother can be separated from her child and be in her right mind. You psychologically playing games that you played on slaves.
Yes.
So I don't follow Trump, not because he's a Democrat, because he's a damn devil.
Yes. That's right. Come on now.
You can't implement stuff that you know, and they put black women up, and they would say, look at this, she's crazy. She had 4 children, and you took them from her.
Yes.
Shipped them kids away, and you gonna put her out in the field like she's supposed to be all right.
Amen.
So when you see certain things from old, don't think it's a coincidence. It's psychological warfare. And that's why we need to see God in our life. That's why we need to uphold the bloodstained banner of our Lord. So when I get to a place that I see people talking about the Bible and it not being real, I understand it. I understand it because God, I was studying angels. I got a book right now in the car. Put your angels to work. When you understand the job of an angel, you'll say, well, I'll be John Brown. I question whether God is real. Now listen, you got to let me talk to you. You got to let me talk to you. Because the job of an angel is to protect those that's vulnerable to others. Job of an angel is to come to enforce righteousness and justice to the people of God. Well, listen. If that's his job, how could so much bad stuff happen to the children of God? How can somebody wake up one day and decide, I'm going to that church and I'm going to shoot it up, and angels don't intervene? Because you are part of my protection. Listen, the Bible said that the angels, their job is to make sure you don't even stomp your toe on a stone. Amen. Now we see people walking in churches and shooting them up. Where are the angels at? Where are the angels at? Come on now. We can't keep acting like this ain't real.
Right.
How can that happen? How can they walk in that church and the angels don't stop them? If all this is real, how did this happen? How did these priests hump these boys like this and still be one of the strongest religious organizations in the world? How could this be?
True.
How could this be?
True.
How could it be that you have a group of people that the whole world seems to be against? You say, well, no, everybody gets discriminated against. Listen, don't tell me nothing about no Asians being discriminated against. They got a country in a whole they can go to.
That's right.
Amen. Do you know we're not accepted in certain parts of Africa? Because somehow somebody told them we bougie, we think we done arrived. We somehow got a disconnect from them, which we do, but they think it's all negative. You can't go live in any part of Africa because you're black.
Right. That's true.
It ain't gonna happen. Listen to me. When people start talking about God ain't real, I don't hate them. I understand them. That's why I can get along with everybody. You know, can't nobody tell me who to like, who not to like, and all those other stuff, because I understand the frustration of seeing God. I asked God, I was reading this passage of scripture when I was studying yesterday. I got up early and I was in prayer. And I was reading Acts. And There's a different type of God we serve pre-Christ versus post. Now, you have to understand this. So I'm reading the Bible, and it's talking about Paul. Paul was in jail. Paul was in jail. Now, you got to understand what had just taken place. Apostle James, which was John's brother, Apostle James now was killed before all the Jews. The Jews loved it, the killing of Christians. Anyone preaching to God, the Jews killed them. I don't understand how people, and I don't even want to get off on that, but how people think the Jews is supposed to be all this in a bag of chips if you ain't accepting Jesus. To me, that's a problem. You can't have Jewish people coming in your church to preach and talk stuff and they don't accept Jesus.
Right.
He's not just a prophet. He's not just one of God. No, he is the prophet.
Right.
So I'm reading the Bible, and it says that Apostle James was killed. King Agrippa killed him, stabbed him with a sword, killed him. God, why you didn't step in? Why didn't you step in and stop one of your apostles called by you from being killed? Then they put Paul in jail. And King Agrippa said, well, listen here, I got a treat for y'all. After the Passover, we're going to kill Paul and put him on public trial. And we're going to kill him. It was a lynch mob. Killing Paul. Now you can call it what you want. But they were waiting for Paul to come out. Now, this is what got me. The angels came, and when the angels came, they went into Paul's cell. And the Bible said the angels shook Paul and told him, shh, get dressed quickly. Now, this is me. Why I gotta shush and why I got to get dressed quickly? If you an angel, in the Old Testament, one angel killed 80,000 soldiers.
Right.
Why I got to shush and hurry up?
Right.
So I told God I got a problem with that. One, you didn't bring Apostle James out. He got killed. Now we sneaking around like a punk. Now I'm expecting an angel not to. The Bible said it was the doors, like grocery store doors, you know, just opened up. When he walked to the gate, the gates just opened up. Just opened up. But I wasn't looking for, that's what I'm looking for. They're killing your children. I'm looking for you to kick the door off the hinges. You, Samson did it, why can't you? And you know what God said to me? Because Jesus died for them too. Even though they chose to live for the devil, the blood was shed for them as well. So what's the difference? The difference is those that will choose the Lord of their life, whether you will please your flesh and serve the devil, or whether you will choose what God has assigned for your life and live that out. Amen. So, you know, it's been on my mind about the church not growing and things like that, and you know, just asking God what's going on, what do you want me to do? And God said to me, there needs to be a campaign demonstrating who I am. Go show love to people. I don't need you to show love in here. I need you to show love out there. The devil's doing his job. He'll run. Leave your car door open. Leave the window down. The devil's going to do his job. He will steal, kill, rape. He'll do whatever he needs to do to satisfy something in him.
Right.
What are you doing? Start begging for stuff.
Right.
Who out there is happy that you in their life? Who's out there? You know, you want to know, don't tell me, you know, you the head of the house, unless you can also tell me how valuable the house is with you. Man, talking about he the head of the house. The head of the house, first off, being the head of the house means I'm the first partaker of forgiveness, kindness, and love. That's what the head of the house, if I'm going to be the head of the house.
Yes.
You know, God don't honor punks as head of the house. So if you got a Jezebel, my wife and I, we know plenty of Jezebels that want to be the man of the house. Run their mouth, tell them what's going to happen, this, that, and other. Don't get married if you want to be the head of the house. Because if you want God to come in there, you're going to have to submit, ladies. I didn't think it'd get that quiet. Because God ain't coming in there to sit there with no punk. If I go to Eubank's house when he get married, And his wife slapping him back there, telling him what to do. We got to go.
Right.
I don't hang around that type of foolishness.
Right.
I've been in the hall off and thought she was my wife. Now you done let this girl and boss him around, make him a little punk. When I bust in the head with a frying pan, now you want to fight me. Don't touch my woman. Don't sit your butt down, boy. You bad. So I need you to get to the place that I don't want stuff. I want to please God. I need to please God so God can show up in my life. Whenever you see failure, you see somebody ignoring God, or they don't have a relationship with God. The last verse for the day. Good God, help me.
Jesus.
Go to Luke.
Come on now.
38. Luke 6 and 38. Receiving from God is based on your giving to God. Your harvest is determined by your seed. Are you listening to me?
Amen.
You can't expect to have a better life, but you're not willing to qualify yourself on another level.
That's right.
Let me tell you something. There's nothing worse than young people leaving high school, going to go take a job. You don't qualify for much unless you're singing or dancing or flipping or I don't know what you're doing. You understand? But if you don't pursue the right skills, you're always going to live in poverty.
True.
You can't pray your way out of laziness.
Right.
Why are you not? You got to go to the military, you got to go to school, you got to go to a trade school, college. You got to do something to better your life.
Amen.
You can't walk out of high school and go get a little job, $15 an hour, thinking you land on Mars. Tell your mama, let you pay the bills for a month. You tell me what $15 an hour do for you. Tell me what $20 an hour do for you.
Amen.
You got to keep building yourself. What are you learning? Because if you ain't learning nothing, then you don't qualify for more. That's why I don't listen. You come what you want. But I ain't with this $15 an hour. Why are you being lazy got to be my responsibility?
Right.
Are you more valuable?
Right.
Because if you're not, I ain't paying you.
That's right.
When we hire people to clean the house and do all that stuff, they come in, listen here, you cleaning houses. Listen, you will not charge me $50 an hour because the government say so. No, it ain't gonna work. Listen, you can't expect to get more than what you worth just because you know God.
That's right. That's right.
If you own a restaurant, your son and daughter can come in and get a meal, but they can't come in there and act like they own the restaurant. They still got to submit to certain rules.
Right.
I'm going back and cook my own. No, you're not.
Right.
If my mama owns this restaurant, your mama may own the restaurant, but your mama don't own the board of health. Get your dirty behind out of here.
Right.
Yo, dirty self.
Right.
So, if we gonna grow, oh God, I ain't got time. I'm gonna read this one more time, and then I'm gonna close out with this. If we're not willing to submit to God in the way that we're willing to give, then we don't position ourselves that we can give. I give people stuff I know I ain't gonna never get back. People ask to borrow money from me, I know I ain't getting it back.
Right.
You know, it's happened all the time. It happens all the time. I'll get people that will ask me for a certain amount of money, and I'll determine whether it's worth to give it to them, so I ain't got to bother with them no more.
Right. Right. Amen.
Yeah, you come in and say, listen, I need to borrow $100. Then I look and say, nah, I loan you 50. All right. And when you say when you loan 50, and then that's it. You know that you ain't getting it back.
Right.
But at least you ain't got to worry about it. Look at that. Give, and it shall be given unto you. Good measure, pressed down, shaken together. Now give. When we hear that, we just immediately think about money. Right? Give, and it shall be given unto you. Good measure, pressed down, shaken together, and running over shall men give unto your bosom. For with the same measure that you need. Now the measure is based off your percentage at heart.
Right.
That's why when the woman came and gave 1 penny, Jesus said, she's giving well more than all of you. See, you can't try to impress people with your giving. Just give from your heart.
That's right. That's right.
Amen.
When I was coming up, you would give, and then they call you. They put their envelopes out and call your name. When I was coming up, church, and they call your name for what you gave.
Right.
And if you was an elder like I was and you didn't give nothing, they call your name for that too. Then they said a bishop, Elder Hatcher, and I don't know what my wife was, a missionary or something, or usher, I don't know what she was. They ain't gave nothing this today. Bishop, all right, yo. We'll let him slide this time. You know, this ain't no lie. This happened to me. And then one time his wife said, you let him slide all the time. No, right? Most Memorial. 1880 Fulton Street. No, I'm not talking lies. This true stuff. Now you got to understand, I had to give money for every department. If you was an elder, you had to give to the elders, the ministers, the ushers, then the men. Every one of them, every first, third, and fifth Sunday, you got to give every one in the department $20 or $25. That ain't got nothing to do with your tithes and church offering.
That's right. Yes.
Boy, I'm telling you, you had to give some money. You want to hear that? They had some people in there that hung tough too.
Yes.
Broke as and my stepfather had 2 left boots.
Yes.
Yeah, they call your name out. They ain't give nothing. Let me tell you something. When you give it from your heart, now I'm not, you can't change tithes. Tithes is 10%. Right. But anything other than your tithe, you give from your heart. Right. Not to please people. That's what I'm saying. You can't give out of necessity. Amen. You can't have nobody begging you and making you feel bad because you ain't giving. Give from your heart. Right. Give and it shall be given unto you. Good measure, pressed down, shaken together, running over, shall be then given unto your bosom. For the same measure as me shall be measured to you again. God said, if you give them to me from your heart, I'll give to you from my heart. Amen. Give to me from your heart, I'll give back to you from my heart. Let me tell you something. That song is so real, you can't beat God-given. No matter how hard you try. You can't never think if I give my last from my heart, I'm gonna starve. The devil is a liar. The devil is a liar. Amen. Amen. When I tell you I've seen God for myself, you need to know this thing is real. But not enough of us are walking out the instructions of God. Why are you giving? Because are you giving to be seen? Don't you come in here. Well, y'all, we don't do it. Well, I'm not saying it's wrong. This is just the temple of deliverance. We don't have on the calendar a day to celebrate the pastor. Now, I don't do that because God told me my children don't come here for you. They come here for me. Right. So you can't put your name on, you can't put your anniversary on no calendar here. People didn't come here for you, they came for me. I understand that. So we don't have nothing on the calendar. That don't mean they don't do nothing, but, well, sometimes they don't do nothing, but you understand what I'm saying, right? You know what I mean? It's not on the calendar. So every 5, 10, 15 years, they say, Pastor, we gonna buy some potato chips, go down to the church store, and get yourself whatever you want. Just I get my 10 chip and run in the car for they change their mind. Right? But listen though, listen to me. You can't have yourself in the pastor's anniversary giving the pastor $1,000 and you know you need that money at home. Why are you giving that? Are you crazy? Listen, you know, people already gonna say what they want to say. People say, you know, he don't need it. He got it. You don't know nothing about me. You don't know nothing. You don't know whether it's my car. You don't know if it's stolen. You don't know nothing. You don't know nothing. All you do is see and you speculate. I ain't buying the first lady nothing with this money. Then don't give it, because you got to give from your heart. Amen. If you don't love and appreciate somebody, don't you give it to be seen? What I look like giving somebody $1,000? And my kids don't have their needs met? What do I look like giving a pastor $1,000 and my wife, now it is what it is, my wife ain't got her hair money? No, that's just the real. I mean, my home come first now. I'm going to tell you the truth. It don't make no sense for me. If it's just your name, this ain't my tithe, ain't my church offering. Come on now. I'm going to give you this here $100. Because my wife told me they cost $900 for her hair to get done. They'll fool you if you let them. They'll fool you if you let them. Be smart. Give from your heart. If you want God to dominate your life, I need you to allow God to just win in your life. Bow your heads. Father, thank you for this day. Thank you for your people that have come to this place to receive from you. I pray, God, the words that were spoken in this place today have fallen on good ground. And we would not allow the things the devil is doing in the earth to change our mindset toward you. And God, those in the earth that don't believe you to be real and have rejected you because you just have not been the instant justice God we wanted. We have not seen our angels come to our rescue like we wanted. And as a result, they drifted away. God, whatever happens, send a comforting word to them. Allow them to meet somebody that would direct them back to you, that they can receive in abundance all that you have for them. Do this, oh God. We'll forever give you the praise and the glory. In Jesus' name. Amen. Clap your hands.